So, hello everyone. Welcome to HM Commerce Education. This is CA Mani Chandana. Really sorry, could not record videos for the past few days and upload them because of certain health concerns. Really sorry for that, but don't worry, we're back, right? So, without wasting much of your time, let's jump into today's class. Right, students, I just want to discuss one particular question relating to holding subsidiary and associate companies, which was asked in your previous examination paper, that was June 2024. The question is 1B, that is second sub-question of question number 1, right? So this question, it's very easy. It's very, very easy, but a few students felt this to be difficult. And one more thing, students, this in your professional examinations, the questions, don't expect all of the questions to be asked directly. Like they'll just not ask you what is a subsidiary company, what is an associate company. No. See, there are questions which are being asked directly. Say, for example, what is a one-person company, or how do you incorporate a company? Yes, you do get such kind of questions, but most of the questions are asked practically. There is a case, case studies which are being asked, and then if you don't have to worry whenever you see such kind of questions, you don't have to panic in your examination hall. Always keep one thing in your mind, that whenever your basics are strong, whenever you have studied the subject really well, not only law, not only with respect to law, I keep it any subject, even in your CA inter CA final, when you come across income tax, GST, when you come across audit, all of these, when you see these questions in the examination, first thing, you should not panic. See, you know what is a subsidiary company, you know what is a holding company, you know what is an associate company. Just give it some time. Just pause for 2 or 3 seconds in the examination hall. You don't have to worry. Whenever you read certain questions, obviously you might feel panic, but it's okay. If you don't understand that particular question, it's okay. Just go to the next question, right? Make sure I will discuss about how to write a paper in further classes, like what are the strategies which you have to follow while writing your examination paper. All that we'll discuss. But just for your information, I'm trying to tell you, what I'm trying to tell you is, when your basics are very strong, when your subject is very strong, right? When you know what is a holding, what is a subsidiary company, what is an associate company, not only this, keep it any subject, keep it any topic. If you know it really well, then you don't have to worry. You will answer whatever question is asked let them ask anything in the question paper. You don't have to panic. You will be able to answer it. But what am I telling you? You have to have your subject in your fingertips. Like, what is a holding company? What is an associate company? You should know it. If you have done half and half studies, like you just know you just know composition of board of directors. When you come to voting power, you're not sure about what it is. Our associate company, you go to the examination hall and you panic whether it is 20% or 25%. This should not happen. These kind of things, you have to make sure you do not, this does not happen in your examination. You have to do multiple revisions. Multiple revisions is a must when you go to the examination hall, right? Okay, all of those things apart. So before we start off this particular question, children, I all want you to watch my video with respect to holding, subsidiary, and associate companies. The link of that particular video will be given in the description. So it's a complete, I have explained it to you in detail. The concept is very clear, right? So it's almost an hour. I have explained this particular topic almost for an hour. The content of the video, it's very clear. The concepts are very clear. I suggest you all to see that video first before watching this particular lecture, because you will not understand what I'm trying to tell in this particular video or this particular question if you do not know what is exactly subsidiary company, what is exactly a holding company, what is exactly an associate company, right? Even if you or at least maybe but I always suggest to watch the video first. If you're very much okay with that particular topic, then it's fine, you can watch the video. But my suggestion is first watch the video and then come back to this particular lecture if you haven't watched it, right? Okay, so with that, let me start off with the question, right? So what are they trying to tell? a company ABC Limited as on 31st March 2023 had a paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh, that is 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. So I'm just reading the question first. Later we will try to interpret what they're trying to tell. Okay. So what happened? There's a company ABC Limited as on 31st 3 2023 had a paid up capital of rupees 1 lakh. 1 lakh, how many number of shares? 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each. Then in June 2023, right? In June 2023, what did it do? ABC Limited had issued additional 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, which was fully subscribed. Out of these 10,000 shares, 5,000 of these shares were issued to one single company, that is XYZ Private Limited company. Okay. XYZ is a holding company of PQR Limited by having control over the composition of its board of directors. Good. Now, PQR Private Limited claims the status of being a subsidiary of ABC Limited as being a subsidiary of its subsidiary, that is XYZ Private Limited. Examine the validity of the claim of the PQR Private Limited. State the relationship, if any, between ABC Limited and XYZ Private Limited as per the provisions of the Companies Act 2013, and this was asked for 7 marks. Literally 7 marks. It's easy, very easy. Like once we start, answering this particular question, you'll feel, oh my God, we thought there is something in this question, but there is nothing in this question, right? That is what you'll feel. I'll show you, right? So we'll just try to write down the facts of this particular question, right? So yeah, what is it trying to tell? A company ABC Limited as on 31st March 2023 had a paid up capital of 1 lakh. Okay, fine. Yes, ma'am. We'll write it down. So there is one company. One second. There is one company ABC Limited, right? And it holds, what is its paid up share capital? 1 lakh, right? 1 lakh. That is 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each, right? So this is when this is 31st March. Fine. We are not concerned about the year. It's okay. Maybe it should be 24, I guess. Fine. Then what happens in the year 23? Okay, fine. Okay. Then what happens in the month of June 2023? In the month of June 2023, ABC Limited issued additional 10,000 equity shares of rupees 10 each, which was fully subscribed. Okay. June 2023, it issued additional shares. How many shares? 10,000 shares of rupees 10 each. So again, additional 1 lakh, right? Okay, what is the total capital? Total capital, it is rupees 2 lakh. Yes, clear. This much is clear. You understood this much of the question you have understood. First, see, understanding the question is very crucial. First, you have to understand the question, then you can answer the question, right? So till here you have understood. Okay, yes, ma'am. So next part of the question, children. Out of the 10,000 shares, which 10,000 shares? Out of the 10,000 shares, they issued additional issue, right? 10,000 shares, 5,000 of these shares were issued to XYZ Private Limited. Okay, fine. Out of these 5,000 shares, were issued to XYZ Private Limited. Very good. Okay, fine. Now they're trying to tell XYZ is a holding company of PQR Private Limited by having control over the composition of its board of directors. What are they trying to tell? Now, which company purchased 5,000 shares of ABC Limited? XYZ Limited. Yes, XYZ Private Limited purchased 5,000 shares of ABC Limited. Till here you're clear. Now they are telling XYZ is a holding company of PQR Private Limited by having control over the composition of board of directors. Okay, fine. So now they're telling this particular company is a holding company of PQR Private Limited. Of PQR Private Limited. So this is a subsidiary company. Yes, children, I am assuming you have done my class. See, if you have not done the class, if you don't know, ma'am, what is this ma'am telling? She's telling holding subsidiary, we are not understanding it. I cannot help, right? First watch the video, then come back to this. You'll be very clear. Okay, so this PQR Private Limited is a subsidiary company of XYZ Private Limited. This is, they are telling. They are only stating it. Facts of the case. Sorry. Right? Yes. Okay, how is it a subsidiary company? How is, okay, fine. See, how is this XYZ Private Limited company a holding company of subsidiary company? How is it meaning? By controlling the composition of board of directors, by controlling the composition of its board of directors. Okay, fine. You don't have to worry much about it. They're basically trying to tell, what they're trying to tell you here is, this is holding company and this is subsidiary company. That is what they're trying to tell. Okay, till here it's a question. Still, facts of the case, yes. Now, what they're trying to tell you is, PQR Private Limited claims. From here, the main issue starts. What is it? Now they're asking you. Okay, PQR Private Limited claims the status of being a subsidiary of ABC Limited as being a subsidiary of its subsidiary XYZ Private Limited. Okay. Now, okay, examine the validity of the claim of the PQR Private Limited. Ma'am, what is the question? What is the question? See, this PQR Limited is there, no? This PQR Limited, it is telling, I am the subsidiary of ABC Limited because XYZ is the subsidiary of ABC Limited and I am the subsidiary of XYZ Limited. So therefore, myself PQR, I will be the subsidiary of ABC Limited also. It is trying to tell so. Now you are a chartered accountant. You cannot listen to everything. Whatever PQR Private Limited says, why will you agree? You have your own brains. You know what is holding, what is subsidiary, what is an associate. Now we will see. We will just try to see how will this particular PQR Private Limited, is it really a subsidiary company of ABC Limited or not? We'll try to understand. Okay. Now before going to that, let's now just read what is a holding and what is subsidiary company. Okay. Right. See, subsidiary company, children, I know you all know it, but again, okay. A subsidiary company in relation to any other company means a company in which the holding company, two things, controls the composition of board of directors or exercises or control more than 1/2 of the total voting power, either at its own or together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. Together with one or more of its subsidiary companies. Now, children, if we come here, tell me, if this particular first let's see whether this XYZ Private Limited, whether it is a subsidiary company of ABC Limited. Let's first try to find out. Okay, how many shares does XYZ Private Limited hold? Ma'am, it holds 5,000 shares. How many shares? Ma'am, it holds 5,000 shares. What is the total share capital of the company ABC Limited? Ma'am, total how many? 10,000 plus 10,000 is 20,000, right? 20,000 shares. Divide. What's the percentage? It should come to 25%, right? Yeah, it comes to 25%. Now, the concept is so simple. Here ends the answer. You got the answer already. PQR Limited is trying to tell that it is a subsidiary of ABC Limited because XYZ is a subsidiary of ABC Limited. Now, we found out now that XYZ Limited, tell me if it is a subsidiary of ABC Limited or not. No. Why no? Because only 25%. See, how many shares does it hold? It holds only 5,000 shares out of the 20,000 shares of the ABC Limited. Now, will it satisfy the condition? Will it satisfy this particular condition more than 1/2? Will it satisfy the conditions? No. Obviously, XYZ Private Limited is not a subsidiary company of ABC Limited. XYZ Private Limited is not a subsidiary company of ABC Limited. Why? It holds only 25% of the share capital of the share capital in ABC Limited, right? Okay, now we concluded that this is not a subsidiary company. Then what is it? Then what is it? It is an associate company. XYZ Private Limited is an associate company of ABC Limited. Easy, easy. What is there in this? So easy. Now, okay, when XYZ Private Limited is only not a subsidiary of ABC Limited, now PQR Limited Private Limited is telling it is a subsidiary of ABC Limited. You only tell me, is it correct? Is it correct? All my CA students, is it correct? No, so simple. Why to break your head? Ashte. Answer ashte. Now, first what did we see? XYZ Private Limited holds 5,000 shares in ABC Limited. So that amounts to 25% of the holding, right? So in order for it to satisfy being a subsidiary company, it has to at least hold 50 more than one half of the voting power. Voting power here we are considering it a share capital. Yes. Does it satisfy the condition? No. Board of directors, are they talking about that particular condition? No. Right. So will XYZ Private Limited be a subsidiary of ABC Limited? No. Then how will subsidiary of XYZ Private Limited be a subsidiary of the ABC Limited? Not at all. It's completely wrong. Now come back to the question. See, what is it telling? The question is stating PQR Limited claims. It is claiming. You as chartered accountants, you have to tell what is right. Is the claim of the PQR Private Limited is correct or incorrect? Okay. Claims of being a subsidiary of ABC Limited as being a subsidiary of its subsidiary. As being a subsidiary of, here students will go wrong. See, children, what happened in this particular question is they are only stating it is subsidiary of its subsidiary, that is XYZ Private Limited. But what we learnt is XYZ Private Limited is only not a subsidiary of ABC Limited. Correct? Yes or no? Clear? Okay. So examine the validity of the claim of PQR Limited. So what will you state? No, it does not hold. Good. Correct. So obviously you have to state, what you have to state, ABC Limited is an associate company. And you also have to write everything in detail. I'll just show you how the answer is being given in your suggested answer. Okay. So this is your question. Okay. ABC, this is your question, right? There's also a suggested answer which is released by the institute. Okay, let's see what they're trying to tell here. Okay, so this first trying to see how you have to answer in your question while you answer the question paper is first you'll have to state the facts of the case, then you'll have to write the relevant provision, and then your conclusion. Right? First here they're writing the facts of they're stating the relevant sections first, right? They're talking about law first. Okay, what is this? As per section 246 of the Companies Act 2013, holding company in relation to one or more companies means a company of which such company are subsidiaries. They're defining what is a holding company. Next, they're defining what is a subsidiary company. Subsidiary company in relation to, you know all of this, right? Controls the composition of the board of directors or exercises or controls more than one half of the total voting power. Good. Now they're talking about the facts of the case. Right, first they told about the provisions, then they're talking about the facts of the case. What happened in this particular case? Okay, so and so on so and so date, ABC Limited had a paid up share capital of so and so, and again it issued further shares of 10,000 shares, out of which 5,000 shares were subscribed by one particular company, that is XYZ. Right? Since XYZ Private Limited holds only 25% of the shares in ABC Limited, it does not have control of more than one half of the total voting power of ABC Limited. That is what we learned. Hence, XYZ Private Limited cannot be considered as a subsidiary company of ABC Limited in terms of the second criteria stated above, that is of what? Controlling of the voting power. Right? Obviously, we're not talking about the composition of board of directors. There's nothing there. See, you should not get confused. See, when they're trying to tell something like this, they just try to put you into confusion. The question, how it is framed is, they'll try to confuse you. But you have to be very, very, very clear about what you know. You should not get confused by the question. See, what they are trying to tell, composition of board of directors also, they have given a certain point, but that is related to PQR and XYZ condition. See, PQR limited, sorry, which is that? I don't know the names. Yeah. PQR limited, PQR private limited is a subsidiary of XYZ private limited because XYZ private limited holds or controls the composition of the board of directors of PQR. This entire thing is related only to this particular criteria, this particular XYZ, the relation between XYZ and PQR. This particular condition, you should not confuse it with the relation with ABC and PQR. Getting it? Getting it? Right? I know this is how students make mistake. They try to break their head. Oh, they've given composition of board of directors. No, oh, what is it? What do we have to write? Okay, okay. Then ABC also has power. It also has power. Then we will write. Again. They'll see again. They'll read this line again. They'll start reading this line also again. They'll see. Okay, fine. They're telling as being a subsidiary of its okay, it is a subsidiary. They're only telling it is subsidiary. No, then obviously it is a subsidiary only. No, okay, they'll again crack their heads. They'll mess up things. They'll write something and come back. Once they come back, if they open the book, if they sit with peace of mind, if they sit, they'll only get the answer. Right? Yes or no? Is it simple or is it difficult? Tell me. It's very simple. Okay, now let's read the next line. Right, out of these, 5,000 shares were issued to XYZ Private Limited. Since XYZ Private Limited holds only how much? 25% of the shares, it does not have control or more than one half of the total voting power of ABC. Hence, XYZ Private Limited cannot be considered as a subsidiary company of ABC Limited in terms of the second criteria. Right? Correct? Yes. XYZ Private Limited is the holding company of PQR Limited by having control over composition of board of directors. Okay, fine. But since XYZ Private Limited cannot be termed as a subsidiary of ABC Limited, PQR Private Limited cannot claim the status of being a subsidiary of ABC Limited in terms of the criteria, that is that of the controlling of the composition of board of directors. So getting my point. So when this itself is not a subsidiary of ABC Limited, what is the question of PQR Limited being the subsidiary of ABC Limited? That is not possible. That is not possible. Children, understood? Did the answer end here? By the way, did the answer end here? No. What did I tell you? This is an associate company. You have to write this, right? Obviously, this is for 7 marks. You have to write. When you're telling no, it is not a subsidiary company, at least you have to tell what is it, because obviously it comes to 25%. If it comes to 10%, obviously you don't have to write anything like this. You also can write it is also not an associate company because it does not write the definition of associate company, and you can give reasons for that particular thing. But here, because it is complying with the conditions of associate company, you need to write that as well because it is for 7 marks, right? See, as per now, they are defining what is an associate company in relation to another company means which has significant influence. Significant influence means you at least 20%, of the total voting power. Correct? Right. Yeah. So in terms of the above provision, the relationship between ABC Limited and XYZ Private Limited can be that of an associate company. Since XYZ Private Limited, this is the conclusion. Okay, since XYZ Private Limited holds more than 20% of the total voting power in ABC Limited, it can be considered as an associate company of ABC Limited. Correct? Yes. Children, now you understood how the questions are asked in the examination and how easy it is to to answer that particular question when you are very good at your subject. Yes or no? When you have confusion with respect to the provisions itself, no one is going to help you, children. See, that is the major difference between a chartered accountant and a normal graduate, right? So if it was just if people would have asked you only to write whatever is there in the act, or say for example, if they give a particular question and they ask you to explain about that question, then why are you called a chartered accountant? Why are you called a chartered accountant, right? Getting my question? If you think the question is difficult, the question paper is difficult, I'm not able, the reason is you have not learned it well or you have not revised it well. There is something lacking in you, right? Rectify that. Rectify that. Understand the conceptual clarity of the subject should be very, 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 very strong for CA students. For CA students, I'm telling you, the conceptual clarity should be very strong, right? If that's strong, if the foundation of the building is strong, no matter whatever, how much ever disruption happens, the building will stand strong, right? If the foundation is only not strong, obviously you cannot build a 25-storied or a 20-storied building with that foundation, right? So please make your basics or the subject or the provisions very strong, right? Then you can answer any sort of a question, any sort of a question. And also one more thing which I all want to tell you is, before, see there is something called mock test papers, right? You have to give those examinations, you have to answer those questions. See, if you do not, if you just read whatever is there in your book and go sit in the examination hall thinking they'll give you direct questions and you will write direct answers, and that too, people, how they learn, first they learn, first they see the entire chapter. Okay, they are good with this. Say for example, Companies Act, they'll read features, what is a company, features of the company, done. Then class of companies. Okay, what is a public company, what is a private company, what is so and so holding company, subsidiary company. They'll read one person company. Okay, fine, for example, one person company. They'll see what is a one person company. They'll finish, they'll go to exam. Now, say for example, they have asked something related to one person company. Okay, now these students, they just know what is a one person company. They have not even revised it a multiple number of times to actually write whatever is there in the book in their examination hall. In that also they'll do tukda 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 tukda. They'll write one provision, they'll write the provision of some other company into this company. They'll mix up everything, they will give it to the evaluator for evaluation. If even if it is a direct question, students are failing to answer direct questions. This is what is happening. Students, you all have to realize one thing, that if a direct question is asked in a paper, that is like a piece of cake, you just have to eat it, right? It's very you are lucky if you get a direct question in your paper. Getting it? So you should not lose those marks, right? If there is a direct question, first you have to answer the direct question perfectly. Should not miss out any point. That should be the level of preparation from your end. If there is a direct question, you have to get full marks. And when there is some question which is little tricky, even then you have to make sure you'll get full marks. But happens sometimes, happens maybe you'll not be able to interpret the question properly, or could you might go wrong, but that's okay. But direct questions also, if you lose marks, there is no, you should better take some time, get some time, read the entire act, make sure you're perfect with every single topic. It's okay if you lose an attempt also. Even if you lose an attempt, not to worry, you don't give your examination if you're not confident. If you're not confident, if you have not read anything, please don't give your attempt. Why do you waste an attempt, right? Because there is no use, children. You're not going to pass. If your basics are not strong, if you do not know the subject very well, if you do not have the subject on your fingertips, no, you will lose your confidence. Seriously, I'm telling you, you'll lose your confidence if you fail in your examination, right? Yes or no? So it's always better, do not give your examination until you're perfect. And that does not mean I'm telling you to procrastinate things, or you do not exam. You do not postpone. You have to make your body and mind so sharp and so ready to study, learn every particular topic, every particular subject. You should not waste a single minute of your day. Obviously, you have to concentrate on other things as well. You have to concentrate on your health. You have to concentrate on your physical and mental health. You have to eat properly, right? You have to get right amount of sleep. I suggest students who are studying at least a minimum of 7 hours sleep, 7 to 8 hours sleep normally when they are studying. And during examinations, I see a lot of students who go to examinations without sleep. They sleep only for like 2.5, 3 hours. Students, this is wrong. This really impacts your health. Also, in your examination hall, you will not be able to recollect things. You will go blank, right? Get the right amount of sleep. That is also important. But the time whatever you get after that, you will get like around for your CP, for you all CA foundation students, a 12 to 12 hour study is important. You have to do a 10 to 12 hour study without wasting your time. When I say 12 to 10 to 12 hours, I mean 10 hours, 10 or 12 hours. I mean it. I am not talking about leave all the other breaks, whatever you talk. And I require you to study at least for 10 hours continuously. Not continuously meaning take breaks in between, but you should not waste time. 10 hours meaning those 10 hours. You can split morning 3 hours, then you can take break, then again sit for another 2 to 3 hours. In that you do have classes, you do have to sit for revision, you do have to solve papers. Everything should be there. Only once you've prepared well, only once when you are confident of giving the examination, only then you have to go and give your examinations, or else there is no point, children, because even if you give your examinations, you are going to fail, and that is going to demotivate you, right? So what I was trying to tell you is, before after you finish studying whatever your textbook, I want you all to sit and solve questions. You have to do your MTPs. You should not directly go to the examination hall and see such questions and go blank. Getting it? Right? All of these are very important, children, right? So enough of it. I think we are clear with this particular question. It was a simple question, but students have messed it up, right? Very, very simple, very simple. Just make your concepts clear. You'll be fine with everything. So students who all are putting in efforts, put more efforts. Students who are wasting time, please don't do it, right? The time, there's so much of time left. Even if you wake up today, you're not late. Even if you wake up now, you're not late for your January examinations, right? But please wake up. Today, after seeing my lecture, you wake up and then again you sleep off. That no one can help you, right? Take things seriously. You are growing. You are, you are getting mature. No one has to come and tell you. You have entered a professional journey. You have taken a professional course, and I think it is, uh, by whatever reason you have chosen to become a CA, you have to become a CA. Maybe you yourself chose this profession, or maybe your friends, all your friends took up CA. See, most of the students, commerce students, what they do is, their friends, they all are doing CA, and few students also incline towards their friends and they start doing CA. Whatever, or your maybe your parents have influenced you, or parents are asking you to do CA. Whatever it is, children, you have entered this particular course. You have taken up this professional journey. You should not look behind. You should not look behind. Whatever the case may be, you are going to become a chartered accountant. You are going to become a chartered accountant. You are not leaving this in between, right? Put in that kind of effort. It's okay. You will get the benefits once you become a chartered accountant. You will. This is this is for sure, right? But please, please keep the spirit very high. Okay, take every single subject seriously, right? Also, every minute of your life is important, right? Every hour is important. Every minute is important. Please don't waste time, students. Right? This is something which which I wanted to tell you all. Right? For your January exams, you are not late. Wake up now. You still have time. You can clear your examination with the right strategy. If you plan a right strategy, you can clear your examinations, provided you are ready to put in that kind of effort. Right, everyone? So, can we stop? Right? Fine. Thank you. Thank you all. All the best.